How to train your thoughts like a warrior. What if the real war isn't outside but inside your own mind? What if your thoughts are your greatest enemy or your greatest ally? And what if your true strength begins the moment you learn to lead your mind like a warrior? In the peaceful mountain village of Vaya, surrounded by whispering pines and the soft music of flowing water, lived a young woman named Mira. Mira was known for her kindness, for her quiet intelligence, and for something rare in a world full of noise, a heart that listened. But lately, something inside her had begun to break. Ever since her mother's passing, the village healer, the woman everyone turned to, Mira had felt like a bird with broken wings. She tried to carry on her mother's work, gathering herbs, tending to the sick, speaking softly to the wounded. But with every step, her thoughts rebelled. What if I fail? What if I'm not enough? Others are better than me. Her own mind had turned into an enemy. The more she tried to help others, the more her thoughts pulled her back, like vines wrapping around her feet. Her confidence eroded, her joy faded. She stopped going to gatherings. She withdrew from the world and found herself sitting silently by the riverside, staring into the current, hoping the water could carry her worries away. But no river can wash away what we refuse to face. One golden evening, as the sky turned the color of old stories, Mira wandered near the village temple. There, under the shade of a banyan tree, sat an old sage, serene, still, and watching the sunset like it whispered secrets only he could hear. He looked at her gently and said, "Child, why do you look like a warrior who's lost the battle before even drawing her sword?" She paused, then replied with trembling honesty, "My mind is the battle. It never stops attacking me." The sage smiled. "Then let me tell you of another warrior, one who fought a warrior, one who fought a war not just with swords, but with thoughts. And he began many years ago in the southern kingdom of Amanagara. Two young warriors trained under the royal war master Arjun and Ver. Arjun was strong, eager, and full of fire. He lifted the heaviest weapons, charged into sparring matches, and often shouted of the glory that awaited him. But his mind was wild. Fear would cloud his vision. Anger would shake his aim. Ver was different. Every morning, before lifting a single weapon, he sat beneath a neem tree, in silence, in stillness. He didn't just sharpen his blade, he sharpened his thoughts. He understood that no sword could be trusted in the hand of someone who had first mastered their own mind. When challenges came, Arjun reacted. With frustration, with haste. Ver responded. With clarity, with calm. One day, during a sudden ambush, both were caught off guard. Arjun panicked, swinging wildly, but Ver paused, watched, breathed, then struck with precision, and saved both their lives. After the battle, the master asked Ver, "How did you stay so calm?" And Ver replied, "Because I fight my first battle before sunrise." Within my own mind, Mira sat silently, as if every word reached into the very place she was hurting. But the sage wasn't done. Ver trained his thoughts like soldiers. He wrote down every enemy, not outside, but inside. Doubt, fear of failure, the voice that whispers, "I'm not enough." He studied these enemies like a general preparing for war. "You cannot defeat what you do not recognize," he said. Each day he set intentions like sharpening a sword. At night, he reflected, like a soldier reviewing the battlefield. He whispered mantras, "I am steady. I am capable." He visualized victory long before it arrived. He rehearsed difficult moments in his mind, so when they came, he was ready. Even when arrows flew, his focus did not, because his thoughts were not wild anymore. They were disciplined, trained, trusted, and like any wise warrior, he knew where you train matters. So Verve avoided the noise, the gossip, the complaints, the constant chatter. He spent time in silence. He sat with monks. He read old scrolls. He spoke less, and listened more. Even the sharpest blade rusts in chaos. So he built a forest within where his mind could remain clean, focused, and still. The sage turned to Mira, his voice now soft like the river beside them. "You see, child, the fiercest battle is not fought in the fields. It is fought, every morning, within our thoughts. The strongest warrior is not the one who lifts the heaviest sword, but the one who learns to lead their mind." That night, Mira didn't sleep as usual. She sat by candlelight and began to write. Not herbal recipes, but enemies. Fear, self-doubt, the belief she had to be her mother to be enough. And beside them, she wrote intentions. "I carry my own strength. I don't need to be perfect to be worthy." Each morning after, she rose with the sun. She breathed deeply. She repeated mantras. She walked slowly. She spoke kindly, not just to others, but to herself. She learned to focus not on silence from the world, but silence within. Moral of the story: before you can heal others, build, lead, or love. You must learn to lead your own thoughts, because your thoughts will either build you or break you. They will either stand beside you or stand in your way. Train them, observe them, question them, sharpen them. Speak to yourself not like a judge, but like a general preparing for greatness. Because the world outside is shaped by what lives inside you. If this story awakens something in you, begin today. Don't wait for peace to come from the outside. Create it, one disciplined thought at a time, like mirror. And if this tale spoke to your soul, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Whispers Within, where we don't just tell stories, we teach the art of living from the inside out. Tell us, what thoughts are you ready to train today? And remember, the most powerful warrior is the one who conquers their own mind.